We are going to learn to make the PyeongChang logo for the Olympics for 2018. Now, before we get started, here is how to pronounce PyeongChang.
PyeongChang. PyeongChang has two syllables. PyeongChang. PyeongChang.
I have prepared a template for you to work off of, so get this template out of the listed location out of group shares. Zoom in to the open box, go up to the menu option View, and go down to where it says Snap to Grid and Snap to Point. And you want to make sure there are not check marks next to either one of those. If there is a check mark, just click that word and the check mark will go away. Now use the rectangle tool. If you use the rectangle tool, you'll see a little crosshair that looks like a plus sign with a dot in the middle. You want to align this dot to the top corner of the example's blue box. Then click and drag until you get to the example's bottom of the blue box. Click on the Move tool, click your new rectangle, hold Option, keep holding Option, and drag this box down, which will create a copy. Let go of your mouse first, then let go of Option, and now you will have a copy of that rectangle. Now select both of these rectangles, either by dragging a selection or clicking the top box, hold Shift, and click the bottom box, so they are both selected. Now click on the Alignment button at the top of the screen. If you do not see that button, go to the word Window and click on Align. Now you want to use the alignment tools so that these are perfectly aligned with one another. Repeat this process for the vertical rectangles. When you have them copied, you will select them, use Align again, and this time you will align the vertical centers. Now you're going to go to File, Place, and you are going to place the PyeongChang logo that is provided for you in group shares. So find the PNG file and place. It will be very large, so you can zoom out and then resize this to the scale that you can reference the original colors from. Apply the colors. You will select the box that you want, the rectangle that you want to colorize with the selection tool. Then change to the eyedropper and click on the color from the reference picture that you want to apply. And do this to each of the colors until you have blue, red, black, and green applied. You must use the reference colors because they are the colors of the logo. Any other green or red or blue that is not exact will not work. Next, zoom into the star-like snowflake icon, and you are going to make a rectangle like this. Don't include the point. Now you want to go to make sure that is perfectly sized because it will matter once we start making this star. So just make sure that that first rectangle is exactly the same size as the reference picture. So I'm going to zoom in on the bottom here. I'm going to select this rectangle. Again, I'm going to take care of the size if I need to. It's going to matter later, so make sure it's selected, and you are going to go to your pen tool. Make sure it doesn't say plus or minus next to that pen. Make sure it's just the pen tool. And you are going to wait until you see a vertical line and then click. So as soon as you see that intersect line vertical, you will click in the center. Now you need to switch to the white arrow, and that little point that you made, you want to click it and drag it to make this point. And now you have the shape. You're going to grab the black arrow now, and you are going to click it and then hold Option to make a copy. Now if you hover near the corners, you're able to rotate. And so you want to rotate this so that the points are aligning exactly, and then you want to have it exactly at that angle. Then just keep repeating that process until you have all 5 points of the star. Again, be very careful about alignment because you don't want to have any gaps in the center. So look at the exact angle and look at these centers. Repeat this process until you have all 5 points. We're going to colorize. You should know now how to colorize. Just remember, use the black arrow, eyedropper, suck up the color, click the next one. Once you have them all colorized, you are going to delete the example logo that we placed. Now we are going to look at the PyeongChang name, and we're going to need to install 2 fonts to be able to create this. The file that says Made Good Time Grotesque. Once you find that file, you are going to double click it and a new program will open called Font Book. And then you just simply hit Install Font. Then you can close out of your windows. The next one you want is Young. Double click that. Font Book is still open and click Install Font. And now you have Made Good Time Grotesque and Young fonts installed. Remember the names of those. Use the T tool so that we can start typing. So click the T tool, click once, and then you're going to bring up the character panel. Well, actually, you can type it first. So type in PyeongChang space 2018. Now the A is going to be different. That's why we installed 2 fonts. Now as you do this, make your font as big as the letter P. Don't worry about the rest of the letters, just make it as big as the P. Then highlight and hit Command T to bring up your character panel. Now, if you notice in Schoology, I have listed the name of the font. So Made Good Time Grotesque is what we're looking for. So once we're in the character panel, we can start typing in the word made. And the font will appear and we can change this. Now again, we are going to resize this so that the P is perfectly matching our new font. Don't worry about all the other letters. They are way off. We just have to worry about the P. Then we're going to use some kerning. So if we set our cursor between the letters and hold down Option and use the arrow keys, you're going to be able to change the kerning between the letters. Do this as needed as you see throughout. Now you're going to highlight the A, and the A we're going to set to the Young font. It will not be exact, but we'll work with that. So highlight the A, go to your character panel, and in the font name type Young, then select Young. You'll see it's very thin. So what we have to do is go to our stroke and set the stroke to black. Now we'll highlight that A again, and we are going to set our stroke to 1.5. And that will give us a thicker A than what we started with. Now you can use kerning to tuck the rest of the letters in and then the numbers of 2018. Finally, you're going to open the Olympic rings document that you've opened yesterday, and I want you to hit Command A to select all and then Command G to group them. Then hit Command C to copy them to your PyeongChang logo and hit Command V to paste. Hold Shift and resize. Remember, don't let go of Shift until you let go of your mouse or it will distort them. Realign them to your exact logo. And then I want you to save as, put this in your home folder. You may just name this PyeongChang, type in your last name, and save it as a PDF file.